All right. Hi, everybody. My name is Sudhir Bakru. Welcome to the presentation of an introduction to Lightning Communities and Lightning Builder. I'm a product manager on the community cloud team. I have here with me Shri. Shri is one of our senior architects within the team, and we'd love to show you today how easy it is to build a community using Lightning Builder, and show you some real customer examples as well. Before we really start, we get into it. Our favorite slide. I'm sure you've seen this. A couple of things. If we show you, if could be something from that's still in working and probably not in production yet. We recommend that you make all your decisions based off what's existing product and what's already in production. So what really is community cloud, right? And I'd like to jump into it directly. Is the way we define it is having the best of four worlds, when building it on the number one CRM platform. So what does that mean, right? We give you the ability to create websites, and not just any website, right? The way we've built our product is to actually allow our customers to build visually stunning experiences. So we know our customers, when they build their corporate sites, when they build their products which are not related to communities, they actually go and build really good looking products, and we want them to be able to replicate that onto the community, right? So we give you that ability, and we'll be showing you some of that during our demo today. You could build the most beautiful website in the world. You could build the most beautiful community in the world, but it could be of no use if it's not really integrating with your business data, right? If it's not taking your business data into consideration, and that's the second part, right? That's the second piece that we call portals, where we allow using our community product for you to integrate with your business data, and that's the second piece that we say. And then we want to give the ability to our customers to personalize their communities for the use case that works for them, right? Have the branding that works for them, be able to build the kind of experiences that they want to build, provide the experiences to their own users, their own customers through personalization engines that we've built, and again, something that we'll talk about today. And number 4 is, we think of this as we want you to build communities using click and not code. We provide you the ability to use code if you'd like, but the platform's been built for you to use clicks, the console that we have, and we provide you a lot of out-of-the-box components as well, out-of-the-box features. However, if there are things that you would like to enhance, right, which are not already in our out-of-the-box products, we allow you to take components, to take some features from the ecosystem that our partners, our friends have built for us. And we'll talk about some of the components and some they have built for us, be it through Lightning Bolt solutions, and we'll talk about some of that today. The way we think of communities as product is as 4 main themes and 3 main use cases. We think of partner, customer community, and employee community. The way to think about partner community is if your end product is not being sold, if you're not, or your service is not being directly sold to the end user, right? So if you have a car dealership, if you are a car manufacturer and you're selling your cars through car dealers, then you want to have a community for those partners to keep them well informed on what kind of promotions are coming through, right, and what kind of information they should be aware of, and those are your partners. So that's a partner community. A customer community is when you are providing your services and you want your customers to be directly engaged. So if your products are being sold directly to the end user. So a quick example of this is if your company sells coffee machines and that's the business, and they're sold directly to the end user, you want to have a community that shows really good information on, hey, here's how to use the machine, or here's how to clean the machine, right? All of that information. So you're engaging with your end user, your end customer over there directly. Third one is employee community. This is if you are a company and you want an HR website for your employees, or you want a hub where your employees can find all the information related to HR. Let's say there's an example of your IT hub, right? So that's where you use an employee community. And the first one that you see over here is the digital experience platform. That's how we think of community cloud, right? All of these come together using the platform that we've built. Things like personalization, things like the builder that Sri is going to show you today, right? How do you go about building these communities? All these use cases come together using the digital experience platform. So What I'd like to do next is really spend time seeing the actual product, right? Seeing what we've built, how our customers have built it. So handing it over to Sri next. Do you want to take it away?
Thanks, Sudhir. Hello, everyone. My name is Sridhar. I'm a lead engineer on the Community Cloud. How many of you know Community Cloud before? That's good. How many of you have implemented communities for your worlds? Nice. When we hear the word communities, a lot of people think that, hey, communities are just forums, it's not like a web application platform. People think that it's just peer-to-peer forums and just move on. It's like thinking Salesforce is just a CRM, right? So communities is much more. As Sudhir said, it's a digital experience platform. And I personally say this as a window for your customer to get full potential of Salesforce. So it's a perspective to everything that Salesforce offers. You can create a web layer, you can offer it to your customers, your employees, your partners, and you can bring the full potential that Salesforce offers to your ecosystem, not just for your salespersons or your employees, but you can extend the same power back to your customers. So this digital experience platform will help you do that, to create that layer to bring your ecosystem in. So just to show what power it is, what are the things that customers have done to inspire you, I wanted to bring up a first example of a self-service community that for a brand that you already may using. How many of you use Hulu? Anyone? Cool.
Awesome.
So if you need some help, if you want to renew your subscription, or if there are issues with subscription or cancel your subscription, the place you go to is Hulu Help Center. It's built with Community Cloud platform. Again, I want to reiterate that it's a digital experience platform, not just a forum, right? Just to show the power of it. This is a self-service portal built by Hulu using our digital experience platform. It falls under the bucket of Lightning customer community bucket that Sudhir was showing. So if you see, it's a highly rich. There is no Salesforce brand anywhere here. It's visually stunning, and it feels like Hulu. And you go, if you search for, if you want some help with, hey, I want some help with subscription, you get like a type ahead answers, and it's pretty interactive of how you do it. They do this to do a case deflection, so you don't want everybody to be calling their call centers. They build this site as a self-service experience, so that they kind of consumers get experience right away, resolve issues right away from their websites. And you can see how they organized it, the trending topics, feature topics, all this content is already from Salesforce. They use knowledge articles behind the scenes. And as I said, it's a window to bring all Salesforce business processes, data, and presenting it to your consumers. So they all organize this content and present it in the form of topics, and all the other support channels and things like that. So that's an amazingly built community by our trailblazer Hulu. Next example I want to show is Patagonia. It's another interesting, visually stunning experience built by Patagonia. This is used by an employee of Patagonia stores. If you walk into a Patagonia stores, they bring up their tablet and they show you this lookbooks. Hey, you know what? See what are the looks that you can try it out from their products. So there's another stunning experience that they have built. Again, all using mostly using clicks. There may be something that they have coded here, but pretty much using Communities Builder and bring it into life. The third example I wanted to show you is Logitech, another known brand that if you want help, this is more of an example of a peer-to-peer forum with self-service. If a lot of people use Logitech, they share their knowledge, they help each other. This is another use case of where people come and collaborate with each other and help themselves, and in turn reduces call volumes behind the scenes from servicing standpoint. Anything to add to that?
No, good, all good, thanks.
And another interesting customer that I wanted to show is Zurich Instance. This is not a real site. We kind of took a screenshot and showing a potential of it, right? Because we don't want to show the real data of Zurich here. But it's essentially another totally different experience. It's not self-service. It's not peer-to-peer forum. It's almost switches the gear to channel sales, co-selling, and where you work with your partners, where you work with your suppliers, you work with your ecosystem and do a co-selling and build and extend all your sales process to your ecosystem through a secure window of this community cloud. So that's another beautiful use case that one of our trailblazer did. And so those are some of the use cases, right? And I wanted to spend next a few minutes to show how easy it is to do it. If you had to build from scratch of this such web applications, it takes a lot of developer ecosystem to get it done. And again, goes back to our philosophy of make simple things simple, right? And make the complex things possible. So the simplest thing is that the way you go to create a community is you go to set up in Salesforce, and you get to this UI. I don't want to go through the whole process, but you get to this UI and you will be presented with a choice of experiences. You will get, hey, you want a customer portal, you want a partner portal, you want an employee portal, you want or if these templates can be built by our partners as well, ISVs, Accentures, PwCs. They all build these bold solutions for the specific industries and make it as a template for you to just purchase it, and with just point and clicks you will get that rich experience geared towards your industries. If none of this fits in, obviously you have your build your own thing. You can always start with the build your own, and you can assemble the way you would envision your experience, how your designers would envision your brand to be reflected. You can always start with build your own. So that's what goes back to make simple things possible. Make simple things simple, right? If you within 2 minutes I can click select a template, and I can get a community up and running, and I can publish it and make it available in a website in less than 30 minutes. And you can.
And in addition to the lightning bolt solutions, we also provide templates out of the box, right? And do you want to quickly talk about that, Sri?
Yeah. So the list of tiles that you see, it's not. It's a. Some of them are out of the box by Salesforce. Like you have customer portal, partner central, and the build your own. All of them are out of the box, and also is augmented by partners. So it's not, you're not just relying on what we provide through our releases, but you're also get it from App Exchange and things like that. And then I want to switch gears to go deeper into what the building experience looks like. What is the builder? How all these pieces together? How can I get content from CRM? How can I author my own content? How can I personalize this? How can I bring content from other CMSs? Let's say, as I said, this is not just the content within our CRM. You can bring in content from external sources as well and present it into this experience. And to do that, I came up with the fictitious company called Capricorn Cafe. So you can see that there is a site, Capricorn Cafe, and they have built this nice community for interacting with their members. And if you come to the builder, the site looks like this. And this is called a community builder, where you drag and drop and build your experiences. And the first part in this is, there are several sections in this. The first section is components. The components is the way we do this is we modularize the site into independent components. Each component has its own business purpose. Some gets knowledge article from Salesforce, some gets account data from Salesforce, some get contact data from Salesforce. We make it into individual components so that you have the freedom and democracy to assemble it in however way you want. And Salesforce already comes with more than 100 built-in components. Depends on the data from Salesforce. Like we have pretty much a component for every single data that you see and create it in Salesforce. And not just that, if none of the standard components doesn't solve your need, you can build your own, or you can get it more from App Exchange. If I click on get more from App Exchange, it directly pulls all the component from App Exchange, and you can pick and install it right directly from here. So standard components from App Exchange, you can build your own component, and you modularize all these things. This is where I think the interesting thing in this is that it gives you a developer freedom and a democracy to your admins to assemble it. Developers can build components in a very rich fashion. If none of these experience is enough, and you still have your freedom to your admins to bring these components and assemble the site and change it with ease. And then the second part is the branding. Okay, I got all the components that can bring in the data, but I want my experience, my brand to be reflected in here. So there is branding is also, again, there are multiple layers. The simple things can be done by admin. There are control for developers to do some of the advanced personalization, advanced branding and stuff like that. So like, for example, uploading a logo, uploading a header image, fonts, these are all very, very declarative. Like you just point and click, you change them and it get be done. If these are not enough, you directly go to edit CSS, and you can get your advanced CSS developer to modify your the entire CSS and get it more pixel perfect branding experience. And in addition to that, in order to manage that, we also have a concept of branding sets. So you made all the changes to the branding, but all those effort should not be wasted and should be reused. So we have a concept of branding sets, and you can save your branding and you can personalize the branding based on your audiences. So I can have an audience set, user base one that want like different colors, different logos, and you may have a different set of audience from a different location who may want a totally different experience. So you could have multiple branding sets, and you can assign that, personalize that based on the target audience that is coming into the site. And you do that by the way, Sudhir is our he is responsible for the audience platform. So if there are any questions later, you can ask him more around personalization as well.
Or even otherwise, you could ask me other Community Cloud questions as well.
Yeah. So manage audiences. You can create your audiences. Hey, US consumers, Asia consumers. You can create as many audiences as you can, and you can create different experiences for different audiences, and you can declaratively do that. And dynamically depends on the person who is logging into a site. It depends on the location that a site is being accessed. The branding will instantaneously switch us without any coding. We don't have to write any code for that, right? So you declaratively you manage that, and it instantaneously personalizes your branding. And the third thing is the pages. Okay, so we talked about components, we talked about branding, and then the pages. You can create multiple pages in a community. You can have contact us, you can have about us, you can have knowledge. You can create multiple pages. There are a lot of out-of-the-box pages available for specific purpose. Like if you want to change a password, you have a page for it. If you want to user profile, you have a page for it. If you have a home page, there are some pre-built pages based on your use case. If you pick a partner template, you will have defined pages specific to partner use cases. If you pick a customer community template, you will have pre-built pages for that particular use case. And you can also create your own custom page and put all the components in it and assemble accordingly. The interesting thing in this is the more advanced feature in these pages is that it's not just every page is visible by every user. Same goes back to audiences. You can create your own audience segmentation, and you can say that the same page, if viewed by people from US, you can show something about football, and if the same person who logs in from India, you can show something about cricket. It's totally personalized. You can create different page variations, and you can show appropriate content in that page based on the incoming audiences. Anything to add in there, Sudhir?
No, I think a quick thing over there is the way to think about dynamic branding, where you could define different audiences and assign it to different branding set is if your company has different brands, right, and you sell them as different brands to different types of customers. Example over here is if you have a coffee company, and the coffee company of course sells non-organic coffee, right, but it also sells organic coffee, but they sell it as two different brands. But you don't want to go in the business of maintaining multiple communities, right? You go use the branding set dynamic branding feature, where you just go simply by points and click assign a branding set to the audience for your non-organic coffee company versus your organic coffee company, and just have it show up as two different websites to two different customers.
Thank you.
Yep.
So we have pages, we have components, we have branding. We can assemble the pages, we can publish it, and we can publish it by personas. And when it comes to content, as I said, it's not just the CRM content. It's not that the one that's in Salesforce. You can bring content from your websites. You must have already made investments into your CMS systems. You have built stunning web content in your corporate websites, and you may want to bring the exact branding to our community portals as well, which is we don't want to recreate them again in Salesforce, right? So there is a feature in our platform called CMS Connect. You can bring the experience that you built in another CMS directly from here. I want to show a quick demo of it. We have a component called CMS Connect. Yeah.
Right there.
So we support two types of integrations, HTML and JSON. If you already have an HTML with already branding and scripting in place, you can directly get as is into this community, or you can go through the JSON based integrations and get the data and build a presentation here. So we have support for the both levels. If you can get as is from the external system, or you can get the content from external system and make a different presentation here. I'm going to show the HTML here, and I already have a banner in my website. I wanted to bring it here. I have different CMS connections. I'm using the Sitecore one. And I know that there is a banner with the name of coffeeworld.html. And if I do that automatically without any code, I didn't write any integration, I didn't write any API integrations, and it brings everything from as is from the other site in here. And it's not just pure images, right? It brings the script, it brings the CSS, and makes it coexist with other content in CRM very securely. The previous session was around XSS attacks and things like that, right? It's not easy to just bring external content and coexist with content very simply, right? So we take care of all the secure layer and things like that, and we make it coexist. So that is an interesting feature here. And the same thing, you can get it from JSON also. So the message here is that you have the CRM content, you have the CMS content, and you can bring your own content. You can write your custom components. You make them and make it, assemble it, and create a page and deliver it with personalization in play, right? So that's what the power of the builder is. That over to you, Sudhir. So
yeah, thanks so much, Sri. I think we are almost out of time. Just to wrap this up, if there are a couple of key takeaways over here that we'd like you to know is, like Sri alluded to, we're not just a forum. This is actually a way to build visually stunning products, websites, which are completely responsive, so use any kind of device. And the other one is, it's not just building that pretty website, it's also taking all of that business data and integrating it and building a very powerful product out of it. So I think big thank you for all of you for being here, for seeing this session. We're out of time, so we'll just stay on the side over here and answer any questions if you have any questions. Thanks so much, everybody.
Thanks, everyone.
Yeah.